Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. How is everyone doing? The compliment of the season, you guys. Today I'm going to share how to make chin chin. This will serve as a great gift idea for your friends and family this season. So let's begin. In a bowl you're going to crack in some eggs. I'll leave the list of the ingredients I'm using today in the description box. I'll also try to list them on the screen as well as I go. Alright, so I've gone in with some vanilla. Next I'll add some evaporated milk, whisk to combine and set it aside. Next, you want to measure out some all-purpose flour and set aside. Growing up, we didn't used to measure all of these things. We just eyeball it. 1 bucket of flour, 2 simmers butter, egg, and everything needs to come out good though. But yeah, you may want to invest in a measuring cup or a scale so you can always get that perfect measurement. For the fat, I'm using this one called Smart Balance. I really love the texture it gives my chin chin. In place of this, you can use margarine or even butter. Once I measure this out, I'll set it aside and then measure out the sugar. Now for today, I'm using a combination of brown sugar and white sugar. You can use either of both, okay? I just liked the richness. I wanted it to be really rich. So now that is done, I'm going to now transfer the wet ingredients into a bowl. First thing is the flour, the sugar, some nutmeg, baking powder, and some salt. Now mix well to combine. So at this time I'll go in with a Smart Balance or margarine and then mix very well to incorporate into the dry ingredients. The end result should be a sand-like texture. That is a perfect texture for chin chin. This right here is my second favorite step when making chin chin. I just love the way it feels in my hand. So relaxing. I can play with this all day. Don't worry, I'll show you my favorite part very soon. Alright, so I've made a well in the middle and then poured in our wet ingredient. And just before we go messy, I like to use my spatula to contain it a little bit. And then going with my hand, knead until this forms into a dough. Now the truth is, this does require some level of strength. So if you have a machine strong enough to knead this, please use that. Alrighty, after a few minutes of hard labor, this is what I have. I'm going to cover this and let it rest for about 20 minutes so that way it's more pliable and easier to work with when rolling it out. If this is your first time here, I want to specially thank you for clicking to watch this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, turn your bell notification on so you don't miss any of my posts. And to my returning subscribers, I love you. Thank you for always coming back to watch. So while we're waiting for the dough to rest, you're going to now start heating up the oil so that by the time the dough is ready to be fried, the oil is hot enough. Especially if you're going to use good amount of oil just like this. You want to start heating it up on time. 20 minutes later, our dough is well rested now, and as you can see, it's easier to work with now. So when kneading, if it comes off a little bit hard, don't worry, just let it rest. And after a few minutes, it will come out softer just like this. So at this time, I'm going to lightly flour my work surface area, divide the dough into 2 and roll it out. You can roll this out into any shape or size that you prefer, but today I'm going for the classic Nigerian shaped chin chin. Today's hug is for Gucci's Kitchen, watching from Savannah, Georgia. I'm glad you love the recipes. Please let me know where you're watching from so I can send you a hug in my next video. When rolling, you want to flip it around, flour the work surface area and roll out. I also find that it helps the dough move smoothly and, rolls out easily, so to say. So once this is done, it is time to now start cutting our chin chin. And to do this, I'm going to use a pizza cutter. Now this is my favorite part when it comes to making chin chin. I consider this fun. I mean serious fun. Oh. Yeah, so I'm going to cut along, cut across until everything is done. If you're still watching, this is a good time to please click the like button and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you. So once the cutting is done, I like to just put them together like this. That way it's easier for me to transfer into a tray and then into the oil. Now sometimes you may find that they stick together. What I like to do is sprinkle a bit of flour on the tray before I transfer them there. That way it helps. Now in case you want the long strip shaped chin chin, this is how to do it. Very easy. Over here, this is me testing out the oil with a skewer. If it bubbles around it, then you know the oil is hot enough if you don't have a thermometer to check it. Okay. Another way to do it is to place some chin chin in there. Once it bubbles, you know it is ready. So now transfer the chin chin into the oil and you're going to see it start to float to the top after a while. Now you want to go in with your spoon and gently stir to separate the chin chin and then let it fry. You also want to do this on high heat so it doesn't soak up oil. One question I get the most when it comes to chin chin is how to stop the oil from foaming when frying chin chin. The honest answer to that is I do not know. Honestly, it happens to me too. What I like to do is I fry my chin chin in bulk. You see the way I just added this plenty of oil now to this pan? I fried all the chin chin at once. I noticed that when you fry in batches, when you take this one out now, put another chin chin, take this one out, put another chin chin, the oil tends to foam more. So what I like to do is just fry everything at once. And then I think the flour and butter is what causes it. So you may want to minimize the amount of butter or try not to roll with so much flour. And I hope that helps. So now when frying the chin chin, you don't want it to completely brown in the oil before you scoop it out because mind you, it is still hot. By the time you scoop it out, the frying process continues, it's still cooking. So if it browns completely in the oil, by the time it cools down, it's going to look burnt. So what I like to do is take it out when it's, just in between pale and almost there. And then by the time it cools down, it becomes this perfect color that I love. All done now. I'm going to let them cool in this tray before I pack them. You want to save this in airtight containers or in Ziploc bags so that air don't get into them. And this is our chin chin. Color check, taste check, crunch check. That perfect crunch, not the one that will come and give you a headache. This is nice. You can also gift this to your neighbors, your friends this Christmas, and I'm sure they'll thank you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to share, subscribe, tag me if you get to try this out, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.